Brought to you by Penguin.
The Social Instinct. Written and read by Nichola Raihani. For my mum, who was a victim of cooperation. Introduction. I do not think that there is any evidence that man ever existed as a non-social animal. Charles Darwin, 1871. As I type this, I sit at the kitchen table, practicing the social distancing necessary to prevent the spread of a tiny pathogen that has blazed around the globe, changing our lives and routines in ways that seemed unimaginable just a few weeks ago. Workplaces have closed, cafes and restaurants are boarded up, and children are being schooled from home. Over the course of 2020, more than 64 million people would be infected, and 1.5 million killed. As convoys of army trucks lined the streets of small Italian towns to take the dead, and people were forced to say goodbye to their loved ones through phone screens, the rest of the world could only watch helplessly. This virus showed that we are vulnerable to forces of nature, including to things so tiny we can't even see them. In some ways, the power of a tiny strand of genetic material is extraordinary. How did something that is 500 times smaller than the diameter of a hair destroy so much human life? The answer, of course, is that the virus's success was built on our own. By hunting and trading in wildlife, we enabled the novel coronavirus to jump from one species to the next. It crossed borders on our planes and boats. Like the pathogens of the past, this virus took advantage of the one thing that left humans uniquely exposed to a pandemic: our sociality. Our social natures got us into this pandemic, but they're also our only way out of it. Although, as I write, it is not yet clear when we will emerge from this threat, we know how it will be done. To confront the virus, we must inhibit our most basic instincts that tell us to seek one another out in times of threat. We must accept constraints on what we can do, with whom, and where. To confront the virus, scientists must strive towards a collective goal of finding a vaccine, while society's most essential workers provide the core services and commodities that we all need to survive. To confront the virus, political leaders need to consider not just their own constituents, but people living in other states and even in other countries. To confront the virus, we must cooperate. Fortunately, this is something that we are extraordinarily good at. This is a book about cooperation, the focus of my research since 2004. In a colloquial sense, the word cooperation has become synonymous with bland corporate metaphors, evoking images of firm handshakes and cheerful teamwork. But cooperation is much more than this. It is sewn into the fabric of our lives, from the most mundane of activities, like a morning commute, to our most tremendous achievements, such as sending rockets into space. Cooperation is our species' superpower, the reason that humans managed not just to survive, but to thrive in almost every habitat on Earth. Less obviously, cooperation is also the reason we exist in the first place. At the molecular level, cooperation is ubiquitous. Every living thing is composed of genes cooperating within genomes. Move up a rung of the ladder and you find the evolution of organisms, where multiple cells work together to make individuals. In most species, the cooperation stops there. Individuals, by and large, don't tend to help other individuals. However, there are a few outliers, and they just so happen to be some of the most extraordinarily successful species on the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?